towards the Blair County line. What we do is we have a surface water source there, which would be Martindale Reservoir. We take surface water from there, pour it into the treatment plant, treat it, send it out to our clear well, and then it's shipped out through the distribution system. We also have a plant in Benz Creek, which takes care of Benz Creek, Oil City, Cassandra, and that area. We have a surface water source there, also a backup well at Martindale, and basically the same ordeal. They're identical plants. Right now we serve 2,700 customers. As far as the plant operation, the water actually comes into the plant, and we have turbidity on it. On the raw, we have pH, temperature, and that determines a lot on the chemicals that we add to the water to treat it. In our chemical room, we'll add chemicals for pH, for turbidity, for corrosion control, for iron and manganese control, and then we add a disinfectant to it. From that point, it actually goes into what's called a clarifier. It'll come in up into a trough. It'll actually drop down through weep holes and go into a mixing chamber. This mixing chamber actually mixes all the chemicals together, makes the dirt particles in the water collide, makes it settle out in the clarifier, so when it does reach the filters don't have to work so hard. It'll basically be filtered down through. There's manganese green sand, there's anthracite, and then 3 types of aggregate, which is stone, and it'll be pushed out to our clear well and then given to the consumer. The day-to-day operations, we actually share the office with the sewer authority too. We have a business manager and a billing clerk, and then there's actually, like I said, a girl that works for the sewer authority that's in the office. We handle customer complaints, we take care of billing, new water taps, turn-ons, turn-offs, changing out of meters. Right now, there's a great group of guys there and women. Anything you ask of them, Johnny on the spot, they're there to do it. Guys are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So when most people are sitting watching the Super Bowl, when there's a busted water line, we're out there fixing it. Our goal is to give the community good, clean water at a fair price, to take care of any of their complaints. Basically, I'm one of the consumers too, so what I would want for myself, I want for the town.
I am the Reverend John Palco, pastor of the oldest church in Portage, First Lutheran Church. The congregation was formed about 1872. The earliest photos from about the early 1890s of the frame structure. It used to be almost on the corner of Caldwell and Main, but the people just simply picked up the church building, had it moved down the street. And that building is now encased in the brick structure, and then a steeple was added some years later. This is the story of the church. It's of the people more than the building. We have people who do know that they have a purpose in the name of Jesus Christ as a church to serve. And currently, we have one of our members back from Iraq. Keith Mall had served there, and he took the full effect of a hand grenade and lost an arm and a leg. But he's back with us, and he is a marvelous example of the spirit of Portage, really, where he has made his adjustments and life goes on for him. We as a congregation got together and helped with a fundraiser for funding for gasoline for his travel. 5 of our youth traveled to be among about 35 or 36,000 other Lutherans at New Orleans. It's a gathering of the ELCA, Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, every 3 years. And part of the serving event there, they helped paint the inside of a school. But it was a wonderful experience for them to encounter people from all over the country, actually from around the world. The people in New Orleans said to us that we were the first large group like this to come and help them. They also have members who belong to Thrivent Financial for Lutherans, and by that share in community efforts in helping others. Part of that was raising the funds for Keith Mall. Others have been to help the library, fire companies, or other families in need. One of the ways that our congregation participates now in the community is in the Portage Summerfest. It's a fundraiser, of course, but we find that the men and the women have such a nice recipe for roast beef sandwiches that the people keep asking for them. So, okay, we'll keep that going. The men have the secret recipe for the fish fries, and we serve each Lent now, and it keeps growing year by year. At this point, we're beyond serving 1,500. It gives our youth an excellent opportunity to serve. We've had one of our own who has come to learn this as well and take this on very personally. Katie Mall is one of our members who, after graduating from Tule College, decided to give a year of her time serving in the Lutheran Volunteer Corps. And she did so in a clinic for the homeless in Baltimore. And upon her return from that, she felt God calling her to go to seminary. And her goal is to become a military chaplain. What I love best about living in this area is Portage and this area will be remembered and known, and long after we're gone, as a place that values continue and hard work is done.
My name is Bonnie Fox, and I'm here to talk about the Schoenfeld building here on Main Street in Portage. It was an old department store, Schoenfeld's department store. The original owner of the store was Sigmund Schoenfeld, and when he started out, he was actually a peddler. He would peddle through town with his pack on his back. They sold mainly clothing, and the shoes were always in the mezzanine. They were sold in the mezzanine. My husband talks about the 20% off sale. They always had a 20% off sale before school. And they used to laugh because some of the kids would show up with the same clothes because their parents would shop at the 20% off sale. The store closed in 1984, and the owners were ready to retire. When my husband retired from the military, that's when we decided we wanted our own business. And we headed back home to Portage. We purchased the building back in June of 2006. We were looking for a place that we could open a shop and live above. We're gonna open a coffee bar and soda fountain named Chatterbox to have a place where the community can gather and enjoy each other. Back when we were children, we had a movie theater, we had a bowling alley, and we did have a soda fountain. And through the years, we've lost them, and we kind of want to bring a little of that back. The upstairs had been gutted for storage. It was originally a living space when the building was built in 1919. We put it back as a residence, and that's our living space now. It's taken 3 years to just do the upstairs, to renovate the upstairs. We've been doing most of the work ourselves with the help of family and friends. Upstairs, when we started remodeling, there was shelving all around the walls, and my husband was tearing it down. And there was one last shelf, and he thought, you know what, I should look up there and see if there's anything up there. And sure enough, lying face down, wrapped in paper, was a picture of the original owner, Sigmund. And he brought it down, and it's now hanging, and it'll always hang in our shop. He's watching over us. The current status is we have the counter in place, and we have 9 stools that people can sit at the counter. We've purchased a soda fountain, an old dipping cabinet. We have the area for the coffee, and I have my bakery case. So we have, my husband's working on the restrooms. We have the kitchen to put in yet. But we're getting there. Everybody's kind of getting a little impatient, including myself. The one thing I do remember about the store growing up were the mannequins in the windows. And so when we bought the shop, I thought, you know what, I want to put those mannequins back. So what we did, I started purchasing mannequins, but instead of displaying clothes, I do scenes. Christmas was our very first one of 2008. And we'll do Valentine's Day, Easter. They'll be decorating eggs or dressing up for Valentine's Day, just different scenes. And what's funny is it's my favorite thing to do, and the town really just loves it, which makes it all the more fun. The building is a wonderful building, and it's great to see it shine. And it's really great to be making a difference in our town.
And that's Our Town Portage, a look at the gem of the Main Line through the eyes of its residents. Support for Our Town Portage comes from Jean Kinley Funeral Home, 614 Cambria Street, a proud supporter of Our Town Portage. Ebensburg Insurance, providing insurance products and services to customers since the 1960s. Valenti Bottled Water, proud to sponsor Our Town Portage in memory of Sarah Valenti. And from viewers like you, thank you.